Hi all, welcome. So today let's talk about the data types in Java. So we have two types of data types. One is the primitive data type and one is the non-primitive data type. Primitive data type are the data types that are already predefined in Java. So we don't need to define that. The example byte, short, integer, long, float, double, boolean, char that we have already seen in discussed in the previous class. So non-primitive data types are the data types that we define that are created by the programmer. It is used to call method to perform. So we use non-primitive data types to call methods, the predefined methods to perform operations. Example like string, array, classes. So the primitive data types in Java, we have already seen this. So we have the byte, short, integer, long, float, double, boolean, character, char. So byte, which stores a whole number from -120 to 127. Short, which stores a whole number from -32,768 to 32,767. We have an integer that again stores a whole number, but greater range when compared to short. Again, we have the long. Again, it stores a whole number, but it can store up to 15 to 16 decimal. The similar what we discussed in the previous class regarding double and float. We have for whole number, we have integer and long. Again, float, it is used to store decimal digits, 6 to 7 decimal digit. Double, which is used to store 15 to 16 decimal digit. Boolean, which can store only two type of value, either true or false. Then we have character, which is used to store a single letter or in an alphabet. So the non-primitive data types, we have different non-primitive data types like string, array, class, object, interface, enum, list, array list, example, map, hash map, set, hash set. So what is string? Like it's a sequence of character, like sequence of character. Example, my name, Puja, today, the day, Monday. So whatever the text, we store it as a string. So the different kind of like common operations that are performed on a string is concatenation, comparison. We compare two different strings, substring. We calculate like length. It's a function that returns the length of the string to uppercase, to lowercase, and replace. So array, it's a fixed size collection of elements that's a similar type. It's a homogeneous data, same elements, same data. Access by index, iteration, length, sorting, and copying. These are the common type of operation that we perform on array. So we have class. Class is nothing but it's a blueprint of objects. So the common type of operations that we perform is we create objects, we call methods, access fields, inheritance, encapsulation. So these are the operations that we perform on class. Object, we have that's a super class of all the objects. All that is super class of all the classes. So super classes, it's at the topmost hierarchy. So the different type of operations are method overriding, typecasting equals hash code to string. Then we have the interface. Interface is nothing but it has all the methods are abstract methods in an interface. So they have the declaration, they don't have the definition. So abstract type to define a contract or methods. Implementation by classes. So we implement the interface. Multiple inheritance behavior can be we perform on interface. So we have the enum. That's a fixed set of constants. So we do operations like comparison, switch case, value, ordinal. Then we have the list. Example like array list. So the difference between array and array list is array is a static fixed sized data type. Array list is a dynamic array. There is no fixed size. So the type of operation we perform is add, remove, get, set, contains, size, iteration. Then we have map, that's a key value pair. So we have the operations like put, get, remove, contains, key, set, key set, and values. Then we have a set, hash set. This is one of the important collection in Java. So it's an unordered unique element. So if you want to remove whatever the program we get, like for example in test or in interview, whatever program it says, like it should not, there are in a string or in an array, there are repeated what is that, repeated numbers or repeated elements. If you want to remove the repeated elements, then we have to use hash set. So the operations that we perform is add, remove, contains, iteration. Let's just see a basic program. So int a is equal to 10, b is equal to 4. Let's print the difference. Println, the difference between print and println, it takes it to the next line. That's it. Difference is, so this is nothing but concatenation. C E, sorry, A minus B. This is nothing but the string concatenation. So this is a string and this is this integer. It's again the next video about the typecasting. So it typecasts in, it converts into a string and it concatenates. So let's define an array integer of array equal to, let's let's give some numbers. 21, 10, 4, 1, 8. Let's give this as 2 and this as 1. Next, let's define a string. Name is equal to, let's define it as Pooja, Kavita, Arjun, she, capital, then one more name, Raj. This is just an extra. So let's print this. I is less than what we say, I is less than ar dot length. So that's a function. So that's a non-primitive data type where we are using that data type and accessing the predefined function. So we will print again for 0, j is less than. Now let's access the name dot. So again, this will get the So name of J. Let's give some space so that we'll be able to get the so this is our program. Let's just run that one. So I can see whatever the numbers we have given and whatever the string that we have given. If you like the video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you all.